morning here in New York City. And my name is Frank Allan. Welcome once again. It's the coffee hour. You and I together every Friday. Each Friday at this time, we come and bring you great conversation. We have a lot of things to talk about. We want to rope you in on a conversation to get you in there. And we're going to have a good time. And those of you who are watching us, you may be at work right now. You may be at home. You may be settling, sit back, relaxing, enjoying breakfast or whatever you're doing right now. But we invite you and we thank you so much for being along with us. Stay with us, okay? Now, a lot of you are taking that coffee break, okay? Sometimes you get like 15 minutes of a coffee break. 15 minutes, right? You can take that 15 minutes, stay at your desk, and enjoy the entire show. And then when your coffee hour is over in 15 minutes, you can do what they call multitasking. In other words, you can watch the show and work at the same time. We really appreciate whatever time you can give us if you can't give us the full hour. We're coming to you live, broadcasting on 3 mediums right here. We're broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and all of my friends there on Instagram. They're right there. And we thank you so much for being along with us. So stay with us. We're going to have a lot of fun. Later on in the program, we're going to have our 2020 feature. Not too far away. The 2020 feature features 20 past the hour with Brian Camp with Sports Update with the latest developments in today's world of sports. 20 to the hour, DJ Pete will be here with entertainment, news entertainment, and of course he'll be reciting all of those birthdays of all of the people of notoriety within this week, and we'll talk about that. Also, later on in the program, I have my picks of the week for the weekend from the classic movies, Turner Classic Movies. I have a couple of them I'm going to tell you about, and I want you to stay by for that. And of course, it's you and I all together. So we want to say hi to all of you people out there. Just say hi, give the hearty wave out there. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All of you guys, thank you so much for being along with us. Now, we are going to start our show as we always do with that little hearty hand clap, right? Get that hand clap going. That hand clap is, of course, it's for you. Absolutely for you. You know why? Because you indulge each week and you're so loyal to us. Each week you come along and you stay with us. And we want you to know that we really appreciate that. We would like you to know that. Also, the hand clap goes out to all of the people who work in hospitals, all hospital personnel, doctors, nurses, and people working in the medical record field, all of that. We want to thank you for that. Also, our first responders, the firefighters, and along with the firefighters, you have the police officers. They're there. We want to thank the people who work in the mom and pop stores. There are not many of those these days, but those people, along with pharmacists and all the laundromat, everybody who just comes along, kept things going even while the pandemic was going on, and it's still going on. Not as strong, but it's still going on. That's why we always urge you to take your vaccinations, okay? And if you're fully vaccinated, there's a booster shot on the way. If you're 65 and over, that's available to you coming up. And of course, we want you to continue to wear your mask and, of course, your hand sanitizer and all of those things. We still want to protect ourselves because now schools are in. You know, you got the kids going back to school and they're there and they want to be protected too. We want to protect them, and you teachers keep that in mind. You set the example for them by getting vaccinated, wearing your mask, using hand sanitizer, and keeping your classroom spotless, clean, you know, and this way everybody will live healthy and happy. Those of you who are working those essential jobs, of course, you already know that. You have to do that as well. As you already know, there's a mandation going around with people who work in the federal agencies and things like that. They have to either get vaccinated or each week they have to produce proof of their being tested. You know, given the choice, I mean, I don't think I would want to get tested every week. So I think the whole thing goes for, you know, you got to get vaccinated. You've heard it on the news already. Teachers have not been let back in their schools because they refuse to get vaccinated. And now they're using substitute teachers. And they have to do this to keep things safe. We don't want anyone to lose their jobs, their livelihood, or anything like that. What we want them to do is stay healthy and stay safe. And we don't know any other way how to keep everybody safe, you know, and Of course, you already know there's a lot of protest on the line too. People are just protesting about that this is my body, not yours. And if I don't want to get vaccinated, I don't have to. That's true. You don't have to. But there are consequences when you don't do it. And I'm not talking about consequences from people. I'm talking about the physical consequences that could happen, when you don't do that. They do work, regardless of what a lot of people think. They do work. It's not a chip in there that'll control you or anything. It's nothing like that. I don't know where that idea came from. Well, actually, I do, but that's water under the bridge as far as I'm concerned. It's over. It's never coming back anyway. So. But for the rest of you guys who have been vaccinated, fully vaccinated, reminding you again to get out there and get the booster shot. Booster shots are available again if you're 65 and over. They're working on the other ages right now, but right now we're starting from 65 over, and people who are in dire essential jobs, I think, too. Whether they're younger or older, I think they get a pass to get that vaccination as well. I'm not sure about that. That's something you have to check out. And there's a number that you can do. All you have to do is Google it and find out the latest location, the location nearest you, where you can find out where to get shots and where to get tested. And we have a number, of course, if you are a regular of this show, if you're watching us on Facebook, you see, if you look up here or look over here, down here, over here, depending on how you're watching the show, the information is right there. It's steady there. It's even there after the show is over for people who don't get to watch the show in real time and they watch the rerun. The information will be available still as they check it out. And that number that we have it's a New York number, but it's a number that'll get you places. You can get, because I'm pretty sure anywhere you are in your area, there are local numbers and websites that you can go to. But the local number that I have here that I've been giving to people since this whole pandemic has begun, and I just want to keep continuing to, just to give you the number each week. And it's called the COVID-19 test. You can see it up there. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, it's not posted there, so I will give you the number right now. It's called COVID-19 test. It's a hotline number, and that number is 718-638-7682. That's 718-638-7682. All right, and you go there and check out the number. You'll talk to someone that's live. They'll be glad to talk to you. If you have any questions about the COVID and the Delta variant or anything like that, they will give you the answers. If they don't have the answers, they will, you could reach out to them at some other point and get the answers. But someone has answers for you. We don't all have the answers, but someone have answers for you. And with all the resources put together, we can find out what those answers are. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with, and just continue to do that. That would be great. Well, here we are. It's Friday. It's the 8th day of October. Here we are at the beginning. It's the beginning of a new month, right? The 8th day of October. And of course, those of you who are with us, we invite you to help us get started by lifting your cups and your glasses with all your Java, your tea, or whatever it is. And let's remember that the coffee hour is nothing without a little coffee. So excuse me while I shoot up. It's delicious. So glad to have you out there. I see a lot of people are coming in, so I just want to wave to you guys and say hi. Thank you so much for being along. I see DJ Pete is out there. Good morning to DJ Pete. As I said, he'll be here 20 to the hour with his portion of entertainment news and birthdays and all of that. I see all of you guys. For those of you who are just sitting idle, I want to say good morning and hi to all of you there and all of you over there too, because you're part of the show. A lot of people just want to just sit and relax and watch the show, and that's good too. That's very good too. And but for the rest of you, if you'd like to chime in, you want to say anything, and we'll be able to talk to you. I'll answer your questions or whatever, have suggestions or ideas that you may have. I'll entertain them for you. That's what it's all about, to entertain all of you that come in. DJ Pete is live from Boston, Massachusetts today. So he's doing the show from Boston. So we're going to find out he's in Beantown, and straight out of his hometown of Portland, Maine. He's in Beantown. So we're going to find out how it goes, how the weather is in Beantown. If he already knows that, maybe he can provide that weather out in Beantown and let us know what's happening out there weather-wise. So, hey, every now and then people, they make their travels, but they always make it back here to do their show. They do their part of the show, and that's great. So thank you so much for that. So I'm pretty sure you heard on the news about Facebook, right? Well, we had a big outage. Oh God, did you experience that? It was Tuesday. And it happened when the whistleblower, Frances Hugan, came out, and she was a Facebook whistleblower, because there's so many things happening right now. Facebook is under fire, and, there's just so many things happening. But the funny thing about it is that when that happened, when she blew the whistle early that morning, somewhere around 11 o'clock or so, all of a sudden, Facebook went out, Instagram went out, and what apps went out, because they're all owned by Facebook. Instagram and what apps, they're all owned by Facebook. And I guess they're under the same umbrella, and they just went out for 6 hours, an outage for 6 hours. And no one knows to this day, what the problem was. Of course, every website has a technical glitch. They're out for a certain amount of time, but never in my life have I heard anything, a conglomerate like Facebook or Instagram or what apps are, stayed out that long. 6 hours, unheard of. That's a record. Never heard of a website being out that long. Now, if it's anything longer than that, if a website is out any longer than that, then I would assume most of the time that they're out of business. But I've never seen a website go out but we're here now. We're here now. That's the most important thing. We're here now. And we hope that somehow that Facebook would give us information, which, you don't get a lot of information from Facebook when technical thing happens. I've never experienced anything like that. When technical things happen, Facebook, we would like to think that they have our backs and let us know, what happened. But till this day, no one knows, unless, of course, someone out there knows that I don't know, but I doubt it, why they don't give out the information on what happened. And a lot of people make jokes about it. They say, well, Frances Hugan, she probably pressed a button and just wiped it out. No, it wasn't her. I don't even know if it was coincidental or whatever happened, but it was out for 6 hours that day, that same day when the whistleblower came out. And but we're back now, and glad to be. So thank you guys for being along with us. And I see more people are coming in. So I want to just give that hearty wave to all of you guys out there. There you go, out there, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all of you guys. Thank you so much for being along with us. And if you're celebrating birthdays, well, happy birthday to you, whatever you're celebrating, Hanukkah or whatever. Well, Hanukkah, that's around the Christmas time. That'll be here. But if you're selling a bar mitzvah or something, you're celebrating that or whatever it is, we want to wish you the best. And thank you so much for being around with us. I did mention that later on I have those picks of the week for the movies. That's going to come up too. That's all coming up. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, excuse me while I shoot up. Oh, there we have it. There we have it. It's now 14 minutes past the hour, and just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Talk Back Live, that's what we have. That's where we are. We're talking back, not Talk Back Live, but the coffee hour. Talk Back Live was last night. But it's the coffee hour, and we're here again each Friday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., and that's how we wrap up our week for the weekend. We're going into the weekend. This weekend, of course, it's not what you call an official or federal holiday, but Columbus Day is Monday. And of course, if you're celebrating Columbus Day, I know a lot of people. Yeah, I think it's a regular work day for people. People will be going back to work. But for those of you who have the fortune to be off, and wherever you are, whatever city you're residing, I'm pretty sure in your area there's always a Columbus Day parade. And I know in New York City we're big on that. And so it will be happening for Columbus Day. There's so many things are happening that we're celebrating now that we didn't celebrate last year, only because now things are getting a little better. People are out and about now, going to restaurants and bars and things like that. They're out and about now. And so we're going to have our parade, Columbus Day parade, that's coming up. And before you know it, we'll be into the real big holidays, such as Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. And we're going to have the New Year's, the Thanksgiving Day parade that's coming up too. And I understand that's going to be happening, the floats and all. But I think they're going to do it. They may do it differently, even though they may have the parade going on. They may do it differently for the safety of all, because let's face it, the virus is still upon us, and we're still trying to combat it the best we can. So, yeah, those parades are coming up, and that's Monday for the parade for Christopher Columbus, who allegedly discovered America. That's another show. That's another show because I think we all discovered America. That's why we're all here. But that's another show, and that's debatable. But if that's something you want to throw out there, listen to, you could talk about that too. Talk about anything here. We talk about sports, which, by the way, in about 4 minutes from now, sports is coming up. And if you could throw your hand in that, we would appreciate that. If you'd like to talk about that, I'd appreciate that. But Brian will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. So we keep going, going. Yeah, that's it. And let's see. Yeah, so the movies are coming up, and all of those things are coming up. A lot of things are coming up. So we really invite you to stay with us. And let's keep everything safe. Whatever you're going to do this weekend, keep everything on the safe side. A lot of people are going to be doing it. You're soaking up the sunshine because the last bit of the sunshine, it's not exactly cold outside. So whatever outdoor activities you want to soak it up, right? You want to, get your last licks in because a lot of people are saying, okay, before you know it, the weather's going to be cold. And instead of us drinking lemonade, we're going to be eating hot soup. Those things are coming on. And a lot of people like the cold weather. And I'm not one of them. I got to tell you, I say that 100 times. I'm not one of the people who enjoy cold weather as a lot of people do. And a lot of people enjoy it. That's why some people live in the Four Seasons area like I do. I live in a Four Season area. So you'll have to bear with it. If not, then you'll have to move someplace else like Arizona or California or maybe Charlotte, North Carolina or something like that. Or, and if you like the cold weather, maybe you move out to Portland, Maine. I don't know. I don't know. I've never been to Portland, Maine. But I understand it gets cold out there, like in Chicago. It gets cold out there. They call it the Windy City. It gets cold out there, Alaska and all of those places, and people get used to that kind of weather because they're under that kind of weather constantly. And the ironic thing I said is, as much as I hate the cold weather, the good thing about it is sleeping. That's all that's good for me. But here I am. I'm a November baby. That's not exactly a winter, a summer weather month, but people would say, "Oh, you should be used to it by now." I don't know about that. Never got used to it. Born and raised here all my life, all the four seasons, experienced them all, and never got used to it. Except when I was a kid. I guess I enjoyed the cold weather then when the snow came around. We used to have those snowball fights and all of that stuff. But, I'm not a kid anymore, so I don't indulge in that. And so the cold weather, I just stick my head in the sand when the cold weather and pretend it's not here. Now, like I said, those holidays are coming up. And I love when they come around, but I love when they leave too, because sometimes a lot of people say that the big holidays get very expensive. People are going to be spending a lot of money, this year for gifts. And people are going to be spending time with their families this year, as they didn't do last year. They're going to be spending Christmas and Thanksgiving with their family. They didn't do that last year, but they're going to be doing it this year, and people are going to be out there. And I do advise you, if you have the opportunity to do that, spend the time with your family. Coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all of that. And so now that we're into this part of the season, and it's a little more tolerable now, where people can go out and do things, people will be spending a lot of money. People will be spending a lot of money for transportations to meet their loved one. They're going on planes. And speaking of planes, you got to be careful with that as well, because they don't have a mandate for planes. They don't have a one for that, because the only thing they're doing now is they're just making sure that everyone, they're wearing their mask. But there's no mandate right now for them to say, look, if you're not vaccinated, or if you're not tested, if you can't show proof of being tested, then you can't fly. But so be very careful if you're flying as well. Okay, we're going to talk more about that and other things too coming up. But right now, I want to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, where I hope the weather is good. It wasn't good last night, as he mentioned it. He mentioned it on the radio last night, on TV last night. But Brian Camp is here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. How's the weather now? Because it's good here today.
Well, it's not good at all.
Oh.
It's still raining. It's going to rain all day, all night, which I'm fine with that, because it's nothing like being in your home, relax, watching sports this weekend, and I'll be taking a couple of naps, because this is the kind of weather you just sleep and relax. I'm not going out. Where am I going and during this here pandemic time? I find things to do. I might find time to smoke an egg or smoke something, smoke a chicken. I smoked a chicken last week, so that turned out to be good. But good morning to all, to everybody out there on Facebook, and to YouTube and everywhere else, whoever's tuning in. Good morning to everybody. Hope all is well. Good morning, Pete. Good morning to anybody else that's out there. I'd like to say hello and greetings. So let's get to sports. Rap stars Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, R&B legend singer Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar will perform for the first time on stage together at the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show on Sunday, February 13th, 2022 at Solfield Stadium in Inglewood, California. Now, the NFL, Pepsi Corporation, and Roc Nation announced it last week. The Super Bowl's returns to the Los Angeles area for the first time since 1993. The 5 artists have combined for 44 Grammys. That's amazing. So that's going to be a lot of talent that's going to be on the show for that. And great to see it. Super Bowl was probably the biggest sporting single event in all of sports. So we're going to make sure that we tune in, and we're going to just kick back and have your hot wings and your beverages and just enjoy the Super Bowl. Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer apologizes to his team for being caught on camera that went viral, showing him with at least one woman. Just one woman who was not his wife at his restaurant in Columbus, Ohio. He does own a restaurant in Ohio. They was playing the Cincinnati Bengals last Sunday. So because his connection with being a former coach of Ohio State University, he still keeps a restaurant in Ohio. So Meyer had, for the second time, apologized to his players and staff. Had a full meeting on in the morning to the Jacksonville Jaguars fans. Meyer says he will try harder to regain the respect for the players. A 9-second video shows a young woman dancing close to his lap while Meyer was sitting on a bar stool, close to his lap. What that means, let me explain it to everybody out there. He was getting a lap dance. I don't care what the video shows. It was a 9-second video. We don't know what was before or after. He probably realized he was caught on camera. He had to apologize. I'm pretty sure he had to apologize to his wife and his family, but that's a lap dance. Now, a lot of brothers, a lot of guys out there, I know y'all been to these here places, so let's not act shocked or surprised. These things go on. It's more than a restaurant, but apparently it was more than just a restaurant to eat. So I guess it's just lounges and just women like to dance, and you the owner. So I guess he wanted to feel good after a loss. So what better way to feel good after a loss by getting a lap dance?
I thought the lap dance went out. I thought that went out with violin cases. I thought the twerking was the thing today, but I guess it's I don't know.
It is. Twerking is still the thing, but a lap dance will never go away. Major League Baseball last night, the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Red Sox in Game 1 of the American League Division Series, beating the Boston Red Sox, and the Houston Astros beat the Chicago White Sox 7-1 in Game 1. Tonight, we're going to have the Atlanta Braves against the Milwaukee Brewers. That starts first pitch is 4:37, and LA Dodgers versus my San Francisco Giants at first pitch due at 9:37. Both games will be on TBS, and the best 3 out of 5 for the National League Division Series. Empire Joe West was officially informed Major League Baseball that he will retire after the postseason. West broke the record for most games umpired, held by Bill Clem, when he was behind the plate for a record 5,376 in May. West estimated he was thrown out, when you mean thrown out, ejected, removed from the game, out about 190 players, managers, and coaches over his 44-year career. Imagine being in jail for 44 years. Well, he was there. And Major League Baseball draws 45.3 million fans at stadiums this season, down from 68.5 million over 2019, the last season before the coronavirus pandemic. And condolences to all you Yankee fans out there. You did not make it. Your ace pitcher, Derek Cole, who makes all those millions and millions of dollars, couldn't even get out the third inning. So, but I know you loyal Yankee fans will always be loyal and wish you nothing but the best. In the NBA, Golden State Warriors forward Andrew Wiggins on Monday explained his decision to get the COVID-19 vaccine, knowing that he felt he was forced to do so in order to continue his NBA career. No, he wasn't forced to for your NBA career. You needed your paycheck, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I understand people's beliefs. He was denied a week and a half ago, that he wanted not to take the vaccine for religious reasons, but it was denied. So he, could not, play unless if he was vaccinated or had one shot. So he had no choice. The only options were to get vaccinated or not to play in the NBA. He goes on to say it was a tough decision. Hopefully it works out in the long run. And in 10 years, I'm still healthy. He's predicting that within 10 years, this vaccination will take effect for a negative response and may have other people to feel not well with the shot, but we don't know. Wiggins says he received 1 dose of the J&J shot. Wiggins noted that he contracted COVID-19 previously and wasn't too bad. He had an allergic reaction to something a couple of years ago, describing it was a scary moment that resulted in him carrying an EpiPen. So, but fellow NBA player, Brooklyn point guard Kyrie Irving, still remains not taking the vaccination shot and is still doing research on the vaccine. Now, Kyrie Irving stands to lose $380,000 a home game, which is 41 games, and not counting playoff games. Now, the $380,000 consists of not participating in New York and in the San Francisco area because they had mandated. And just now, we just found out Los Angeles is the third NBA major city team that has these same rules where you don't have the shot, you don't play in your home games. And so more and more teams are going to follow through probably. But this is for the safety of everybody who wants to be safe and secure and to be protected from this virus. 18 former players were charged Thursday with pocketing about $2.5 billion illegal and defrauding the league's health and welfare benefit plan in a scam that authorities said involved claiming fictitious medical and dental expenses. Now, the FBI across the country arrested 15 ex-players and one of their wives in a 3-year conspiracy that started in 2017. Each defendant made false claims for reimbursements that range from $65,000 to $420,000. NASCAR Bubba Wallace becomes the first black driver to win the NASCAR Cup Series since 1963, when Wendell Scott led the race and won in that year, 1963. This day in sports, October 8th, 1818. Wasn't around then. That was over 200 years ago. Jack Bronson designed padded gloves first used in a competitive boxing match between two unarmed English boxers in France. So I guess he's the one that invented them. I'm not sure if he invented them, but that was the first time it was ever used in a boxing match. 1953, Birmingham, Alabama bars Jackie Robinson, Negro white all-stars from playing there. Robinson gives in and drops the white players from the group because of racial motives that he did not want, that they did not want that to happen. They didn't want black and white players to be playing together. 1956. Many of you Yankee fans may remember this date. New York Yankee Don Larson throws a perfect game against the Brooklyn Dodgers, 2-0 in Game 5 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium, which is the only perfect game ever thrown in a World Series Classic. 1972, Game 2 of the American League Championship Series, Oakland A's Bert Campaneris fires his bat at a Detroit Tiger pitcher. I remember that. I was 10 years old. I remember that. He threw the bat because the Tiger pitcher threw the ball. He thinks it was intentionally, threw it at his leg or his foot, and he just hurled the bat towards the mount, and it was a terrible brawl. Speaking of brawls, the following year, 1973, the National League Championship Series, Game 3 brawl between Pete Rose and Mets shortstop Bud House, and I remember that. It was on second base. Pete Rose, he plays hard, barreled into Bud House, and that was a nasty fight. It was a brawl. The Mets ended up winning that series and went on to the World Series, only to lose to the Oakland A's. And in 2018, New Orleans quarterback Drew Brees becomes the National Football League's all-time leading passer, passing Peyton Manning in yards. Since then, that record has been broken early this week by Tom Brady. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
Speaking of brawls, do you remember back in, 1960, I got to research it. It was somewhere around 1965, 67, between the Giants and the Dodgers. And the catcher for the Dodgers was Johnny Goldsboro. And Juan Marichal was at bat. And I don't know if Johnny Goldsboro said anything to him, whatever it was. It must have ticked him off, and he took the bat and beat him over the head with it. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, I was 3 years old, but I've seen highlights, and me being a Giants fan, I looked through the library and I've seen that. Yes, Juan Marichal did take a bat, and I believe he was suspended for that too. I don't know how long he was suspended, but yeah, that was something to imagine. Somebody could have got seriously hurt.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Goldsboro is no longer with us, but Juan Marichal is still around. He was famous for that high kick pitching. When he was pitching, he was known for that high kick. But that was a brawl. That was one of the outstanding brawls that I'll never forget back then. I mean, I've seen a lot of brawls in baseball, plenty of them, but that one was like off the wall. Totally off the wall. And to this day, I don't know what exchange happened for him for Juan Marichal to hit him with the bat like that, and he was crouching.
You got to understand the Giants and Dodgers heated rivalry go back all the way to the days when they were both playing in New York. Mm-hmm. And if you think the Red Sox and Yankees rivalry is fierce, this one is just as fierce, if not better or worse.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough when teams have to go to that extent. I mean, listen. The Yankees and the Yankees and the White Sox, they always had a problem. As far as back as I can remember from a kid, they always had a problem. But they always played the game, and the fans. I remember there was one year the fans didn't treat the Yankees very well. I don't know. I can't remember if it was in Boston or if it was in Yankee Stadium. I'm going to say it was in Boston, because if you did that in New York, you probably would have never got out of the stadium. But they were throwing bottles at the players. Boston fans were throwing bottles at the players in the outfield. And I don't know. But that's sports. That's the way it goes. Brian, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. What do you got planned for the weekend? Oh, you're going to do a little smoking, a little chicken, a little bit. Relaxing, watching movies.
I might take a break, because it is going to be a wet weekend. Got to make sure health-wise, I got to make sure I just can't cook meat all the time. So just come stay in my garage, put out the projector, the screen, and sit back and just open up the garage door and let the air come in with the nice mist of rain. And watch sports, college football. There's a big boxing match coming on too for pay-per-view. Plenty of football, college football, pro football. It's going to be and baseball players. So I'm going to be right here. I'm not going to even leave to go anywhere.
Okay, enjoy it. Have a great weekend.
Take care. Enjoy, everybody.
Take care. Okay, that was Brian Kent with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. And of course, he's here every week at this time at 20 past the hour. That's his portion of sports update, his 2020 feature, 20 after the hour, and 20 to the hour. DJ Pete will be along with him. Yeah, that weather may, differ from a lot of people. A lot of people may not have the good weather. We're having good weather right now. For right now. For right now, the sun is out right now, but I have a forecast for you, which I didn't read earlier. And those of you who are coming in, if you would like to give me a weather forecast where you are, I really would appreciate that. That would be great. And so if you're in New York, don't have to worry about it, because I'm going to give you the forecast right now. We've got 70 degrees outdoors right now, 70 degrees, and it's going to get warmer today. And today it's going to be cloudy skies with a slight chance. It's out. The sun is out now, but it says cloudy skies with a slight chance of showers. We'll have a high around 69 degrees. It's 70 already, so we past that stage. Winds is going to be east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour for tonight. Overcast skies with rain showers at times. We have low 63. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain of 40%. For tomorrow, let's see. I just read the one for Saturday. I just read that. What I just read to you, that's Saturday. Today, it's mostly cloudy skies, high 74 degrees, winds light and variable, and it's going to be partly cloudy for tonight. It's going to be early with increasing clouds overnight and slight chance of rain showers. We have a low 62 degrees. Winds will be east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We reach Sunday. When we reach Sunday, that's the end of the weekend, of course. We'll have considerable cloudiness with occasional rain. And this is a good time to stay home and watch movies, too. Occasional rain, showers. We'll have a high 68 degrees. Winds will be east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain of 60%. So do what Brian does. Stay home. Don't do anything. All right? For Sunday night, it will considerable cloudiness with occasional rain, showers. We'll have a low 64 degrees. Winds will be northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. But Columbus Day doesn't get any better, but the parade goes on anyway. For Columbus Day, rain showers early with overcast skies And later in the day, we'll have a high 72 degrees, so it gets warmer. But I believe that parade is going to go on. New Yorkers are troopers. I'm pretty sure there are troopers out there where you are when you have a Columbus Day parade. Winds will be northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, chance of rain of 40%. And repeating our current temperature, we've got 70 degrees here in New York City. And that's our weather forecast in New York City. If you have one wherever you are and you want to join us, by all means, give us your weather forecast. I want to say good morning to Ruby. She comes out today. Good morning to you, Ruby. Thanks for being with us today. And those of you who are on Facebook, hi. I see a lot of people that may be idle. So I'll just say hi to you guys who are coming in still. And want to say hi to you guys over there on YouTube. YouTube is out there, and all of my friends at Instagram. Thank you so much for being along, joining us live each week. We're here every Friday between 10 and 11 every Friday. We've got more to come, but right now we're going to do keep on with the 2020 feature. 2020 feature. This time around, we've got DJ Pete, and he's coming to you live from Beantown, Boston, Massachusetts, and he's going to give us his part of the 2020 feature. How's it going in Boston right now?
It is going great, Frank, so I'm going to give the weather down here. It's a sunny day today, very clear.
Wow.
High temperatures 70, 71. Low temperatures in the overnight 57.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, that's for Boston. So how's everyone doing today in Facebook and YouTube world and whatever else?
They're looking good.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay. So I got just 4 names this week of some great musicians who have birthdays. We're going to start with Eddie Cochran, born October 3rd, 1941. Mm-hmm. Some of his, a couple of famous tunes, Come On Everybody, and Summertime Blues.
Yeah.
Everybody should know that tune.
Yeah.
You know, there ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
That's right.
Also born this week, October 3rd, 1954, Stevie Ray Vaughan. He great blues player. He learned to play the guitar at the age of 7. That was pretty interesting there. He moved to Austin, Texas from Dallas, and that's where it helped. What's the words I'm looking for? Give him attention or whatever to fans who liked his music. Mm-hmm. It also helped with the music scene in Austin back then. Let's see. Also, we have this week, October 4th, 1944, Larry Collins. He's from the famous rockabilly duo, brother and sister group called the Collins Kids. A couple of their famous tunes, Hop, Skip, and Jump, and Hoy Hoy. And finally this week, born October 5th, 1933, Billy Lee Riley. Billy Lee was one of the original musicians at Sun Records, and he had a band called the Little Green Men. And the reason he called it the Little Green Men was that back in the 50s when they organized and started recording music and stuff, it was UFOs and flying saucers were a big thing back then, especially in the movies and things like that. And one of his famous tunes, Flying Saucer Rock and Roll. And that's what I have this week, Frank.
Wow, Flying Saucer Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
But you're right. Back in the 50s, those movies, they had they were, I guess they were science fiction movies, with the flying saucers. One comes to mind for me. I don't know if you remember this one. You probably not old enough to remember, but there's a movie which I saw the other day on Turner Classic Movie, Forbidden Planet.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And and something back in those days, science fiction movies didn't bother me. It was those the movies of the macabre. You know, they used to bother me, you know, because I was a scaredy cat. You know, my mom was big on horror movies. She loved horror movies.
Yeah.
And she used to take me to see some of these horror movies, and I spent most of the time lying on her lap asking, is it over yet?
Yeah.
I was a real punk. I was a punk.
I remember when I was really, really young, there was one character on Star Trek that scared me whenever I watched that TV show. Because he just looked weird.
I was afraid of Frankenstein.
But, a lot of the, you know, a lot of those movies from the 50s, you know, have a comeback, and there's a lot of people that love to watch them because they're a lot of them are so poorly done.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and this month is October, which is, you know, Halloween.
Yeah.
And you know, when I start doing my radio shows for this month, I'm going to be featuring not just some great Halloween music, but some music of well, actually some little bumpers or little trailers from some movies.
Yeah.
Like beware of the Astro Zombies. They murder, they kill, they slaughter. You know.
Yeah.
And the way and style they did these films and the trailers, the trailers that they would advertise the films on were just incredible. I mean, there's nothing like it today. It was like totally designed to, you know, attract people to go see this film.
Yeah.
And at the drive-in or a cinema or whatever, and yeah, and it's great. And when I do my radio shows, WMPG.org, every other Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. to 10 Eastern Time, and then every Monday night on radio-airwaves.co.uk, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Don't forget to play the Monster Mash.
Yeah, oh yeah, I play the Monster Mash all right.
You know, two people did that, recorded that one. John Zachary. Remember Zachary?
Vaguely.
Okay, well, you're too young to remember that too. But Zachary he used to come on Friday nights. He used to do those horror films on Friday night. He was the Semguli of that time.
Yeah.
You know, and he used to come on and play all of these horror movies and Frankenstein, and I was a big punk when it came to movies like that, because I was afraid of Frankenstein, and he was nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
But I love horror movies today. I love them today. They're really great. My mom used to tell me, she says, the best time to watch horror movies when it's thundering and lightning outside, and that's the ambiance. She used to love that. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so now I have birthdays today. If you give me a little time here, I have Bruno Mars is celebrating his birthday today. He's 36 years old. Actor, rapper Nick Cannon, who, as you already know, was married to Mariah Carey. He's 41 today. The wrestler, the pro wrestler, The Miz. Those of you who watch wrestling, The Miz. His real name is Michael Gregory Mizanin. He's 41 today. Matt Dillon, actor Matt Dillon is 50. Gospel singer CeCe Winans is 57. Actress Stephanie Zimbalist, the daughter of Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., is 65 today. Robert Cool Bell of Kool and the Gang is 71. Actress Sigourney Weaver, I call her Stretch because she's so tall. She's 72 today. Actress and TV host Sarah Purcell is 73. Sheila Ferguson of The 3 Degrees is 74. Chevy Chase of Saturday Night Live, and of course he went into movies later on. He's 78. He was known for Vacation. The Reverend Jesse Jackson is 80. Fred Cash of The Impressions is 81. Actor Paul Hogan of Crocodile Dundee is 82. And gossip columnist Rona Barrett is 85. A lot of birthdays today. A lot of people celebrating.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch base briefly because I'm in Boston for Boston Fashion Week right now.
Yeah.
And there's a few events going on. Last Sunday, we were in North Quincy, which is just south of Boston. Denise Ajar had an outdoor fashion show that on a boardwalk, and it was greatly attended. Great show by Denise and a lot of her products that she created. There was, let's see, Thursday. So Thursday, I produced with someone else an online TV show from a studio in Boston with people that work in the Boston fashion industry. We had a designer, we had a couple of models, a hair and makeup person, and someone who does fashion blogging or writer in the show. Later, there was a fashion group international of Boston put on a meet and greet. And then much later at night, 10 o'clock at night last night, the Liberty Hotel, they do a weekly now, I believe it's weekly now, fashionably late event. Inside the hotel, they have a big atrium, and it's interesting. If you ever come to Boston to the Liberty Hotel, it used to be a jail back in the day. But really nice place that they have set up there. And let's see, there's a fashion event tonight in Boston at Hava, late, around 9 o'clock, I believe. And that's in the theater district. And tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, I'm doing another TV show live from a place called Thread Tech. And that is a small manufacturing place for designers that want to build their products. So, so the fashion world in entertainment is happening slowly. You know, there was one event canceled, like I said, but things are happening, and things are going pretty good down here. And that's all I got.
Thanks for that information. That's great information for people, for the Bostonians out there. You know, I haven't been to Boston in years, and the last time I was there, I didn't like it because everything shut down so early.
Yeah,
because everything shut down so early. See, back in those days, I was like a party guy.
Yeah, I know. The one poor thing that shuts down in Boston is the transit system around midnight. You know, if you're out at a bar or something and you need to get home, you got to find a taxi or something like that.
That's terrible.
They've been doing it this way for decades. I don't know why. They should at least extend it to 2 a.m. or something like that. But it's the way it is. What can I say?
I think they do something like that in L.A. too. At least a long time ago they did. You know, after a certain hour or so, the buses stop running and you have to cop a cab.
Yeah,
that's terrible. That's terrible. All right, Pete. Thanks a lot. I appreciate all that information and the Boston information and all of that. That was great timing too.
Yeah, thank you very much, and shout out to Brian and everybody else watching today, and have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
You got it. Take care of yourself.
All right, bye.
All right, DJ Pete, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this time broadcasting from Boston, Massachusetts. His hometown is in Portland, Maine. That's where he usually does the show. But he's traveling a bit, so he's in Boston. We thank you for checking in with us, Pete. He's going to be back with us next week, hopefully, if he doesn't get a gig that's suitable to keep him away from us. But thank you, Pete. And, of course, that's part of the 2020 feature. My name is Frank Allan, and if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Now, Pete already gave you his times on the radio where you can catch him, but I'll just briefly go over it again. You can catch him on www.radio-airwave.co.uk. That's Monday nights between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. And also you can catch him on WPMG Radio in Portland, Maine. That's his hometown. And if you can't get the radio station itself, they have a website, no excuse, www.wpmj.org, and that's every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. at all times at Eastern in Canada and the United States. So there you have it, right there. Now, before we go, we have the movies, and you guys like those Turner Classic movies, right? You like those movies? Well, we have them for you. Now, a lot of you people, like Brian, said that he's going to be home all week, all weekend. You know, the weather's not going to look good. And those of you who may be under the same conditions coming up this weekend, you might want to sit back and relax and then, have a few snacks and sit back, watch sports. Is something to entertain you all the time. But I have some movies. I have a couple of movies that I think you're going to like, and we picked them out. These are only my picks. You know, they have more. They're all over the place. Whatever your enjoyment is, whatever your poison is, that you go with it. But these are my picks of the week for this weekend. We start off with Marriage on the Rocks, a 1965 film with Frank Sinatra and Deborah Kerr, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's on tonight, as a matter of fact, Friday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Everything I'm talking about is Eastern, so set your clocks and your watches accordingly. Also, we have A Summer Place. Remember that song theme from The Summer Place? Well, that's taken from this movie, and that movie, A Summer Place, it's a 1959 movie starring Richard Egan, Dorothy McGuire, and Sandra Dee. And that comes on Turner Classic Movie as well, and that's happening on Sunday at 1:15 p.m. Eastern. So those are the two picks of the week for you. And if you don't like those movies, I can't imagine why you wouldn't. I mean, check them out. Don't prejudge them. Check them out and see if you like them. But you could also check out Turner Classic Movies, other movies. If you go down to the channel and you go through the menu or the guide, and you'll see a lot of other movies that you say, well, I ran into something that, I like this. I think I'm going to watch this too. That doesn't mean they're not good movies just because I didn't pick them. Those just are my picks right there. But you have a lot of movies. And of course, if you also are a member or you subscribe to cable, you can always go on demand and find anything that you want. All right, you can go on Turner Classic. All the networks are there. If you missed a show this week, you can go there. They'll rebroadcast them or shows that you haven't seen in a long time. They're right there. Go to the movie section. Go to the movie section. There are a lot of movies. There are a lot of movies that I think you're going to like. Last Sunday, I was home and I saw 3 Chucky movies. I think I just covered them all. I've seen 3 last weekend. And that just reminds me that this coming week, Chucky has his own series on USA and Sci-Fi. It's called Chucky. It starts on Tuesday night at I believe at 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday night it starts. Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a series that comes on every week. And so if you like Chucky, you like the old doll that wants to kill you, you like that kind of stuff, Chucky, he's got a series, got his own series now. So last week I was watching it on demand, movie on demand, and I found 3 that I've never seen before. I think it was The Curse of Chucky and The Cult of Chucky and something else. But they're all good movies. I remember when it just started as I guess what you would call a horror. But then later on, as it progressed, Chucky became comedy. So there you go. So you have a lot to check in. So let me repeat those movies again. All right, you got Marriage on the Rocks with Frank Sinatra and Deborah Kerr on Turner Classic Movie Friday at 9:15 p.m. That's tonight, as a matter of fact. And for Sunday, you have a Summer Place with Richard Egan, Dorothy McGuire, and Sandra Dee. And again, that's Sunday at 1:15 p.m. Eastern, and you can watch them all right here. So I think I covered everything for today. If you want to get in touch with me, please do. All you have to go there. You look up there if you're watching us on Facebook. Right there, you can see it, information right there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, go to the chat area. You can see all my information, email address, and telephone number. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, I'm going to send it out to you right now. My address is called Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Allan is spelled ALLAN. Prod is Prod. Frank Allen Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's going to be it for me. I'll be back here on Thursday for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be with me with sports, and you and I have conversation. That's Thursday between 8 and 9 p.m. Other than that, I'll be back here next week. More coffee hour, all of us together. Frank Allen, you, that's me, and Brian Camp with sports, and DJ Pete. And I thank you guys for being with us. So guys, have a wonderful day, a great weekend, and I'll see you back here next week. Take care of yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.